Hello and welcome to another video on Kriyastream. Kriyastream is a cursor-like app for PMs, and in this video I'll be walking you through a scenario that we came across engaging with the team that was trying to execute a blog migration project. And before we asked them to try Kriyastream, we wanted to see, this team really manages most of their work in Asana, and they do a lot of their tasks and task assignment in Asana, not necessarily full project plans. But we want to see, how the team would go about creating a project plan if they were to use Asana and its AI. And here's what happened. So when if you look on the right-hand side, the team gave Asana a simple prompt to say, add a section to this project for a typical set of tasks for a blog website migration and cut over. And the AI agent said, sure, I'll help you create the section. It gave us a little bit of an outline of a section title with some high-level grouping of tasks and subtasks that seemed pretty decent, but it's a shallow sort of list of tasks, not very deep. But we said, maybe this is fine. Let's go ahead and create this. It says, yeah, I'll create these tasks. It says 12 tasks created. And when we looked on the left-hand side, we saw that there was no structure. There was just a list of tasks, not in any particular order, that was just created. And then its recommendation was that you can group these into sections on your own, and there's a bunch of, and then it says, yeah, perfect, the tasks have been created. Now, we wanted to give it a little bit more sort of a second chance to say, yeah, can you actually group these for us so we know how to execute them in a sequence? And instead of actually doing the task, it just read out some documentation that says, creating sections, you go here, do this, add a section, click here, and this is how you could add a section. What it didn't actually do is act like an assistant PM or an AI PM that would actually do all of these things for you. Now, let's look at what happened when we did this in Kriyastream. So in Kriyastream, we gave it something similar, and we just qualified a little bit, saying, yeah, let's create a project plan for a blog migration. We're cutting over from Block Engine to Storyblok. Let's create an appropriate work breakdown for this. Now, there's another video that we've published on this as well to see a modern collaboration between the PM and the engineers and how they work simultaneously. One team executing the set of tasks and PM actually coordinating the work, and how they meet in the middle, and all of that is done through Kriyastream. So feel free to watch that at the end of this video. But here's what it did. It started a work breakdown workflow. And then it said, yeah, I'll draft the proposal for the blog engine. It found a bunch of work types and statuses that it thought would be ideal for this project, then broke it down into several phases that start to now look like more of an enterprise project, where you're going to have multiple stakeholders collaborate and go end to end. It had a proper schedule, a proper cadence, then did a full work breakdown of what tasks need to be defined and created to execute this project. And once you approved it, it said, yeah, a project was created for this. So if you look at the actual project, I'm going to collapse this and make it a sort of a co-pilot mode. And here's the actual project. It has got a lot of detail in what the team should be planning and executing, especially things around QA and validation, where it would have a lot of detail about exactly what needs to be executed to have a more thorough and robust launch as part of this cutover. So the gist of this is really, there are a lot of task management and work management apps out there, but they've been built over a period of time with legacy infrastructure and legacy architecture, and injecting AI into it hasn't really proven to be useful to the end users. And it's just fallen short of the customer expectation versus something like Kriyastream. The idea from the get-go was that you don't need to use SaaS. Use AI Coworker, tell it to do everything. It does everything for you. The app is still there, the data is still there if you want to look at it and do more traditional browsing and engaging with your data. but you don't have to. Everything you need to get done, you simply ask your AI coworker, and it does everything for you. Once the project was created, yes, we said, yeah, let's fix some of the dates. They don't look right. You can ask your coworker, and it keeps going. And you're able to engage with the project, enhance the structure, optimize the schedule. The next task would be to do some intelligent work assignment. All of that can be done by your AI coworker, and save you a ton of time, but also build you something that is totally robust for enterprise teams to execute and collaborate and work together. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like and share, and comment on our video. The follow-up to this would be the second video that shows you that modern workflow, that shows you how PMs and engineers collaborate working in parallel. While engineers can use Kriyastream's MCP to enrich the project plan and provide project updates, PMs can then coordinate with various stakeholders to execute tasks in parallel, and execute phases in a much more organized manner. Hope you enjoyed this video. More to come in the next one. Thanks.